Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's a fun one actually. We are going to be screwing up my fiber internet connection. Not screwing up, we're going to be improving the fiber internet connection. We're going to move this to the back room today. I'll show you everything. Wish me luck. I hope I don't mess this up too terribly. So for those of you who don't know, I work for my own ISP, the internet provider for my house. I work for them and they didn't give me approval to do this. I didn't ask, but I think it'll be okay. So I'm going to basically be extending my ISP's fiber connection to this room. So there is some single mode fiber that I have ran up here and it's running down into the rack, and that is going to be essentially extending the connection that the ISP has given me to the house because I don't want to have the ONT in the main rack in here. I want to move the stuff into the other room because I think that's where I want all of my stuff to live. So if we go in here, you guys will see we got the rack in here, but inside of the rack and actually coming down, we have the fiber cable that the ISP has provided. And so that is what we are going to be basically extending. So we're just going to do some basic fiber patching in this video, but I think it should work. I've never tried this. I don't know if it's going to work. My only concern is that the connectors or the fiber is going to be a different angle. So I don't remember what the name is, but they have the angled fiber connector and then they have the flat one. I'm hoping that both of them match whatever they are because that's the only way that it's going to work. So I'm just going to hope that it works and we'll see how it goes. So wish me luck. Okay, so here's what we got here. We have these fiber cables. This is a LC to SCA connector. So essentially we have one LC connector and a single SCA connector because this is technically bi-directional fiber. And the odd thing is too, like this is the nice thing about GPON is that all of the neighbors that have the internet from this provider as well actually share the same fiber upstream. So it all goes to the same place. So it always makes me wonder if I can basically monitor their internet just by monitoring the light that's coming through it, but that's a project for another day. Anyways though, we have our extra strands right here. So it's a 2-strand that's going there. It is single mode fiber, so everything should be compatible with each other. We're just gonna basically take one of these strands, patch it into one of these sides, and on the other side we'll patch it into the opposite side. Okay, so we've got our fiber right here. I'm going to take the cap off of this end, and I'm going to use the right side fiber on this end of the keystone, and that would mean that on the opposite side we do need to now patch this into the left side, although this is upside down, so the spade connectors things are facing downward, so I just need to do the opposite side of this, which facing upward, this is actually the left pair of fiber. But coming down here we have our connector, and this is what's going to go to the ONT as soon as we move the ONT into here. And it's literally just a matter of then patching the ONT into one of these. Right now, unfortunately, because I must have screwed up the termination for this cable on the other side, it's actually running at 100 meg. So the internet here has been limited to just 100 megabits per second for about a week, and it's driving me crazy. So that's why we're gonna move the ONT into here. On this end, I purchased the SC fiber optic female-to-female adapters. So it's basically like a keystone jack. It's just not keystoned to the right size, but basically we'll just use that on this end to essentially combine this fiber cable and then the one coming in from the ISP. So it's just gonna splice it together basically and allow us to have the fiber just to be extended. We're actually gonna use the right side on this end because the connectors are facing up. So it's gonna be the right side of both of them, but we're gonna patch it in like this and have this end go into the incoming fiber connection that's going into the ONT currently. So now it's just a matter of moving the ONT to the other room, unplugging it obviously, and then moving that in there. Unfortunately too, I do want to move this UPS unit into the new rack to power like the main router and all that kind of stuff, but unfortunately I don't want to kill the uptime on this and for all the devices connected to it because we've got some access points that are at really high uptimes, so I really don't want to move that. But I do also have another UPS back here, so I could totally just grab this and then power that switch that's in this rack with that if I wanted to. All right, so now I'm plugging in the power to the ONT, and the light is on, which is great. So it's just a matter of now grabbing that fiber cable that I left here, which is patched in on the other side, of course, grabbing that and plugging it in, and we should be good to go as soon as I go and grab a patch cable, which I forgot to grab. But the ONT should be able to sit just like that, so we can still see the lights on it. And then I'm just gonna go through and patch it to the back of it. All right, so now I'm patching the back of it in, and we are plugging in the connections, and we're gonna hope this works. It's now blinking red, so it's possibly not working, but we'll find out here in a second. Oh, it's back to green, so we're probably okay. All right, so you'll see guys that we are now connected on port 15, which means the internet should be restored here shortly. Right now, the traffic is still pretty low, so I'm assuming it's not restored. We're probably still on the backup internet. And that is the fact, that is true. So you'll see we are at 192.168.105.35, which is the backup IP address, which is just a NATed IP from the wireless backup that we have. So we are still on the backup for now, but I'm hoping that we'll switch over here in a second as soon as the ONT actually boots up. And we should see the IP update right here. And as soon as that updates, we are basically done. So it was pretty quick, but I think it'll be pretty cool once it finishes. I just need to go, I might log into my computer and we'll see what the failover status is and see what the link speed is on this port, because the link speed previously was only 100 meg and that was what was driving me crazy. So I think by putting the ONT in here, we'll be at a much better spot. You'll see all the lights are blinking, which is probably a good sign. So that's great. So we just have a lot of extra fiber. I ordered, it was way too long. I just wanted to have enough. I'm still getting downtime alerts though on my watch. So there's things that are still offline. And that's all we had to do. So the IP is back. Everything is online just like before. Like I said, the ONT is in here. Let's go take a look at the other side just to see what everything looks like in there. I don't know why my hand's so shaky today. But that was pretty much it. So if you want to extend your fiber connection from your ISP, it's actually pretty easy. I don't know if that's actually allowed. I'm assuming like if I have issues with the internet or whatever, they're gonna be like, well, try it without extending it. But I think it's gonna be a lot better of a setup for me at least, because I wanna have everything in this room at all possible, if all possible. So that's pretty good. I'm guessing though, like I said, I'm guessing the light level is probably lower than it should be. I have like an 800-foot driveway, so I'm guessing that's not helping either, but at the same time, it's working. I'm getting full speeds. Seems to be working well, so that's awesome. Okay, so you'll see we've got the other side patched in right here on the right side, and the cap is on, which means we're just covering up the other side. So if I wanted to, I actually could use a bidirectional transceiver on that and actually split that fiber into two, so then I could really easily do a second connection, or a fourth connection pretty much, to that back room. Back here, you'll see that we have the connection connected over here with the keystone type thing. So we're just basically splicing this together without splicing. We're leaving the connector intact, so that's really cool. Everything's working well though. Yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Hope this was helpful. I'll post the links to the things that I bought for this in the description, but I'm guessing this was maybe $12 total. It was really cheap, so I'd say it's worth it. Pretty cool though, so thank you for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next video.